Shifting focus to Israel, now it has become a case of the people versus the government in Israel. The streets are full of protesters standing against the proposed judicial reforms. Today's demonstrations are being called Day of Disruption protest. In an expected move, scuffles broke out in the capital and the Israeli police fired stun grenades to quash the protests. Some protesters blocked the main highway from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The police officers were even seen on horsebacks trying to stop demonstrators. At least 9 people have been arrested for breaching barricades.
Born in Israel, I fought for 30 years in this country to save this country. Now I'm fighting against the dictatorship that's going to happen here. I won't let it happen. I won't let it happen.
Now, this was not expected. Demonstrations were set to intensify. The National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, has said he will not allow anarchists to block roads. In January this year, the Nationalist Religious Coalition government proposed reforms for the judiciary. And since then, protests have rocked the country every day. But despite the outrage, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has not budged down. Let's look at some of the proposed changes. First, it would limit the Supreme Court's powers to rule against the legislature and the executive. This would mean that the Israeli parliament will have the power to override decisions by the top court. Second, it would take away the SC's authority, Supreme Court's authority, to review the legality of basic laws. These are rules that have formed the Constitution. And third, the reforms also want to change how Supreme Court justices are selected, which means politicians might have the decisive powers in appointing judges. Now, people of Israel are livid. They are calling them anti-democratic. However, the government is banking on a more secure judicial system. In Parliament, the Justice and Law Committee has already given an initial approval. The opposition lawmakers boycotted this vote. The plan is yet to be written into law. But just the proposal has raised eyebrows domestically and internationally. Critics say they undermine judicial independence. The political opposition has sought to slow the process. They have relied on parliamentary review sessions and supported mass demonstrations. Even President Isaac Herzog has repeatedly urged for talks. Polls show the plan is unpopular with most Israelis, but these haven't done much to dent the government's plans. In fact, Benjamin Netanyahu is looking likely to win a formal consent for the bills. Our correspondent Jody Cohen has been tracking the protests very closely. She visited the protest site in Tel Aviv to know the mood on the ground. Take a look.
I'm hearing confirmation that the loud bangs here are bursts of smoke to try and to disperse the protesters from blocking this main artery here, this main highway in the heart of Tel Aviv. The protesters don't appear to be moving despite the bangs. There's thousands of people here waving their flags, protesting against the judicial reforms. How long this goes on for remains to be seen. You can hear the crowds behind me. They're shouting shame at the police forces for trying to move on the protesters from this square now. It remains to be seen what happens next. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.